Hello everyone and welcome along to One Hub Racing Season 26. P2 is just done and now we are going to be heading for the pinnacle of One Hub Racing. Welcome to the P1 tier for the Qatar Grand Prix. We hope you all had a great evening thus far and we are all set for a very different format this evening with a sprint race followed by a feature race, which should be absolutely fantastic. My name is GeForce. Jamie's going to be joining me towards the main race, so he can have a little bit of a break after our race because it overran due to some people. But Qatar, quite a track which is designed for motorbikes in mind. So this is going to be very tricky for the drivers to overtake. Also very tricky for the amount of fuel that's going to be on board as well. So that is going to be interesting. J. Cole's not here tonight, but he was the last person to ever win at this track back in season 23, and that was because quite a lot of people ran out of fuel. So I wonder if we're going to get something similar here this evening. But after doing a race around here, well, the main race at least, it was not as bad fuel-wise, but safety cars are not as prominent in the Qatar circuit. So I think, could expect, quite a lot more things happening in terms of strategy. Strategy is going to be a key thing. Will they want to do a lot of things? We could talk about it in the little build-up after sprint race because we won't have much time to talk about it otherwise as well. So we'll go through standings for the P1 tier, so you can see that on your screen just now. So 1 point gap separating Craggy and Senna at the top, which I have to say is incredible. That obviously Craggy just missed out on the win last week with Callum on arm taking his maiden victory at One Hub Racing. Senna taking P2 in the championship, but the gap now is 1 point in between each other. Marco got my driver of the day on nomination. A miraculous recovery after qualifying was not the best for him, but he somehow, he soon sort of made it up in the race. Callum Unarmed, after his win, is in 4th in the championship. Lakitu in 5th, Entity 6th, Atlock 7th, Kieran in 8th. He's back on wheel tonight, so hopefully he'll bring back his pace a little bit. Jonas in 9th, Lukey in 10th, Malvin in 11th, Casper in 12th. He got unfortunate with an incident with himself and Oshin, and it was decided by the stewards that Oshin got a 10-second time penalty because whilst Casper was leaving the pit lane, Oshin continued on the racing line and hit Casper into the wall, causing yellow front wing damage. And the rules say in the rule book, if you make contact or unfairly defend your position, you must wait for the other participant to repass. And if you don't do that, you get a 10-second penalty. So that's what Oshin got. That's why he's dropped, I think, a few places in the standings. And those are the rest of your order. 3 drivers yet to score, which is Escargo, M125 and Jason. But they're looking to change their fortune this weekend. And then we move on to the Constructors' Championship, which is like this. It's probably quite closer than we think, actually. So, Aston Martin on 48, and we got Mercedes on 40, and we got Williams, Red Bull, Vita Cash App RB, which is Racing Balls to you and me, Ferrari, then Haas, then we've got McLaren, Stake F1, Kick Sauber, and Alpine. Alpine, unfortunately, yet to score, but again, would they be able to recover tonight? So, I'll let you know how the format is going to work, just in case you weren't tuned in to One Hub P2 tier earlier on. So, what has happened to my screen? That is getting really frustrating that I'm not able to change. There we go. So, one-shot qualifying is going to start with all of our drivers. So they only have one attempt to set the quickest lap time they possibly can. Once they've done that, that sets the grid for the sprint race. Then we go straight to the sprint race, 10 laps, and they don't have to stop. And with the adaptive weather system, luckily the sprint race is all dry. Then we go to the main race, which is a normal One Hub Racing points, mandatory 2-stop, and the top 10 will get reversed. So if you finish the sprint race in P10, you will be starting the main race in pole position. And in a track like this, it really does make quite a bit of difference for our drivers. So yes, going to be interesting. I think it won't be that long before the drivers will ready up. So if you just bear with as well. But luckily, we got quite a few things to talk about in the pre-race interviews part in just a second. But people were asked about one-shot qualifying. And there was a few people that hate it, like Atslot. He doesn't like it, but he's going to try and make the best of it. Callum, he wants to, he thinks that the whole track is difficult. Senna's saying qualifying will be pretty important, only 2 big overtaking spots. So not invalidation will be crucial, as we saw in the P2 tier earlier. He'll still push as much as he can, and he knows, obviously, when we were doing practice earlier, what he could do on and off the track. And Casper thinks that the whole track is quite difficult, but he wants to try and make sure that he could try and do everything to make sure that he does not invalidate. So I picked a few pre-race interviews that covered one-shot qualifying. I'm not going to have time to go through them all because we are going to get going now, because I know there'll be a few keen bunnies that will be readying up very soon. So, you know, there's a lot of things that the drivers will need to do to set the best lap times possible. So, Craggy and Senna was called to the rivalries earlier on as well by being 1 point separated in the championship. And and they were asked, what do you think made you stronger against the other person, and how are you going to capitalise on each other's mistakes? And Senna saying it's obviously very close on points, which is exciting. I won't go very much into details with the questions, but I believe that Craggy is a great driver with awesome pace. However, he's too aggressive. I had this opinion from the first moment we shared the track. Stupid moves lead to instants, but most times they'll be tears from the one causing it. We're not the only ones fighting for the championship, though. Looking strictly as to now, it's going to be close. And Craggy, this was the one I found quite funny. I race hard and the points will take care of themselves. And he quoted Ayrton Senna, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. And that is very true. And Craggy saying, and if there's no gap, I'll make one. So that is quite funny. So that was something I wanted to pick up a little bit as we get into the session. And I am just checking the Discord. Is Jamie here?
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Are you in the lobby, yes or no?
I'm joining now, yeah. So I had to restart PlayStation because it wouldn't let me join this Discord. So yeah, I'm joining the lobby now. So.
Okay, good. You joined just in time. I told them you wanted a bit of a break from the race that just happened because we literally just went straight through. So one-shot qualifying. Let's see who's going to get pole. My pick is going to be Senna, but I think it's going to change massively. I think we could see Senna probably in the 120s, I think, but we'll have to find out. Let's go on board, actually, with Senna. Where is he? It is changing on my screen, which is very annoying. Where is he? Come on. Let's stick on board with Jason, actually. Oh, no, Callum on arm. There we go. I was trying to find the on-board shot. So, heading towards the first part of the lap, turn 4. 5th gear on entry, keep that on exit, shift through the gears, and then 5th as you head into this next braking zone as well. Make sure that it's just a slight little lift as you come out of the curbs there as well, trying to gain as much speed as possible. First sector, heavy braking zone. You can take it in 2nd, but 3rd is recommended through this corner. 4th gear here through this next section. Try and clip the curb as much as you can. But for some people, they want to make sure that they don't invalidate. Now heading towards this, one of my favourite parts of the circuit, as you go through on 4th gear on entry. So here he comes then, triple right-hander, 7th gear, you've got to be flat out all the way through. So aim to the right on the first right-hander, then aim to the right again, and then just keep aiming for the apex every time. And then just before the 50-metre board, short shift into 6th gear and heading towards the final corner in towards 4th gear coming up as well. So looking a good lap from Callum. Not quite where he wants to be, or it might be an invalidation for Callum. We'll have to wait and see. But it is O'Sheen that takes pole position with a 1:21.0. I was expecting it to be Senna, but with one-shot qualifying, the order can shake up quite a bit, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's about trying not to make any mistakes. And I saw there on board of Callum, he was out in third or fourth place in the last corner. He made a big mistake, yeah. But a great session there for the McLaren boys on the front row. And Lakita, yet again, impressing. Lakita's had a strong season. Senna in fourth. I think he'd be happy with that. Obviously, with the sprint format, winning the sprint isn't, as you know, winning the sprint isn't always the best thing for the proper race.
It's
So
not.
I don't think I'd be too disappointed with fourth on the grid. And good show for the Ferrari boys as well in sixth and seventh. And Casper in eighth. He might have done better than that. But I think that was a good session. Obviously, it's hard to tell because I think in the one-shot quali, people do leave a little bit on the table to make sure they get a lap on the board. So I think if we had a proper quali session, we may have gone in the 1 minute 20s there. But still, that's a good lap for the McLaren team.
Yeah, that is very good. Of course, O'Sheen having a incident last week, which got him a 10-second penalty. So he is looking to redeem himself in the sprint race, of course. And because it's a sprint race, somehow in the F1 game, even though it's not the case in real life, it is not dark. I don't get why it's not inaccurate to that, but you're gonna have to wait and see. But one other surprise there as well. Malvin, he was in the top 3 as well. There'll be quite a few drivers, like you were saying, that may not get a good result in the main race, but they want to try and get as many points as they can in the sprint, because you can get up to 10 points for the win and 1 point for 10th place. So for drivers who think they may not do well in the main race, possibly a good chance for the likes of Malvin to get some good points in the sprint.
Yeah, definitely. And in real life, the sprint was in afternoon, so I guess it is realistic. But the only problem is, definitely. But the only problem is with the sprint, the weather conditions. I don't know if you noticed in our race, but the glare on the sun is quite difficult. So visibility would be quite tough for these guys in the race, of this sprint race. And obviously 10th place is the place to be. That would be great. But you want to score some points. You don't want to leave too many points on the table. So I reckon like a 5th or 6th if you're front runner. If you're 5th or 6th in the sprint, that'll get you like 4th or 5th on the grid. That'll be a good place to be. But we'll wait and see what the plans are. Obviously, you expect everyone to be on the medium tyre. That is the best race tyre, and that's the only tyre you can really use in the sprint, because hard to slow, and the softs don't last 10 laps.
Looking at the strategies from the race that just went on, the softs do not last at all. They only last about 4 or 5 laps before you have to pit, and we know the undercut. If we ever get a safety car, which I don't think ever comes out in sprint races because Bert Mylander is half asleep. So I think medium, I agree, it's definitely the best situation for the drivers to be on. Of course, everyone is given about 1.5 minutes to get their race strategies on, and here we go. We are about to go racing as I get all my data up on the screen for you before you can all see it. So there we go. So looking at the tyres, obviously, is like you were saying, the medium tyres. No engine or grid penalties or gearbox penalties this week, which makes it easier to tell with the top 10. So basically the top 10 will get reversed in the main race, and that'll be your order. No one will move up or down, which is probably a good thing, because if you take your engine penalty here, good luck in the main race.
Yeah, well, that's what I wish I took mine this week. That would have been perfect, but it is what it is. And obviously this season, I don't know if you've mentioned it, but only the top 10 score in the sprint this season. There's a lot fairer system in my view. So if you're 11th, you get the worst of both worlds. You start 11th and you don't score points. So if you're 11th for the last lap, expect these guys to go in the battles in the last lap for like 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They'll be the ones to watch, I think, because they're very much high stake positions.
Yeah, I think I think we saw that in the sprint race in our tier. There were, I think, 3 or 4 drivers trying to go for P10 to start pole, and I think it would have been worth it for the likes of Quinn, for example, but he got those. I think he had 12 seconds of penalties at the end. So without that, he would have been on the podium. So to be honest, there will be some of the fast drivers that are trying to own that. People like Senna, for example, he's going to go full guns blazing anyway, no matter what, because he's a good overtaker anyway. So McLaren 1-2 is going to be interesting. Obviously, the Keita, I think, the favourite going into this sprint race. I think you do not want to be starting first or second in the sprint race. You want to be starting, I think, ideally third, because you got the outside line going into turn 1, and that is the best line in my opinion. The inside line is absolute nightmare. I had that in both of my races, and I almost got killed in both of them.
Yeah, I've made one or two good moves on the outside in the race when I was behind by cars slowing up. So yeah, the outside is the way to go. And the McLaren teams, where they choreograph the start like we saw the McLaren guys do in the real life sprint, we'll see how that's going to go. But we're going to get underway very shortly.
Thanks to everyone that's joining us in the chat. Make sure you leave us a follow. And if you're watching this post-event, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well, as we're waiting for all 17 cars, just 17 drivers this evening. But I'm sure we're going to have an entertaining race nonetheless. A few disqualifications. Hopefully that's not going to affect the race too much. Kieran is back on PC. Quite a few invalidations. Kieran, I think, is one of the biggest shocks in this qualifying. He could have been up there. But anyway, the 5 red lights are on for the P1 tier sprint race. And it is go, go, go. And it is a decent start from Lakito, as one of the McLarens got boxed in. Lakito trying to go around the outside of the pair of them. 3 into 1 around Guitar. We saw that in 2023. Does not mix. But we see the two Ferraris working together in turn 3. As we're seeing, I think it was Callum. They had a bit of an off in turn 3, and he got swarmed, unfortunately. So he's dropping down into last place. Both the up racing balls are not having a good race at all. But it's Oshin P1, Malvin P2, Lakitu 3rd. Then we got Senna and Nick in 5th. Nick said it's one of his favourite tracks, and if he gets a good result here, he'll be very happy with that. Meanwhile, there's quite a lot of things going on in the background. Jonas Albrecht, who had a very good result in Jeddah last time out, made the way past Barrett and on into 11th place.
Yeah, a good start there by Casper, up 2 places. Yeah, a bit of wheel bang in the midfield. Yeah, and I saw that moment for Callum. He did well to hold it, actually, because it's so easy to drop it into the wall there. He's actually passed his teammate Mike there. He's passed Jay as well to 16th place. So he's making some good progress through the field. And obviously, with 10 laps, there's not really much opportunity to progress. But obviously, now we've got the DRS active from lap 2, so end of lap 3 for this track. So yeah, there's going to be opportunities there. But yeah, the McLaren boys did well. Nikita was threatening, but I think on the outside, he didn't have the confidence to really pull the move off, and Malvern defended the inside line very well there. But look at this now, he's going to get a great slipstream. These front 4 cars starting to break away a little bit. Nick's just about in the DRS train, but I expect his front 4 to pull away now.
Or we've got one of the Alpines trying to go side by side with, I think, Callum and Arm. That is Barrett, and Kieran's got through as well, up into 12th place. And those positions, like you were saying, Jamie, could be very, very key. But we are going to keep an eye on the top 4. Senna trying to go around the outside into towards the really tricky corner where you go in 5th gear, and he couldn't quite do it, unfortunately. Very brave, but you got to be careful with moves like that, because we know the McLaren boys are going to be working together. As a key down a bit of a squiggle, this could be Senna's chance to capitalise on the exit at the beginning of sector 1. Here goes Senna. Unfortunately, couldn't quite make it work, but they need to. Might have lost a bit of time because of that, Jamie.
Yeah, Lakita lost at the wrong time there for Senna. He's too far in the corner, makes Senna take advantage. Yeah, but look at them, the two McLaren starting to pull away. Lakita was still in DRS just about, but obviously the detection point comes up sort of before the penultimate corner, so yeah, he's just about safe. But yeah, Lakita looks a bit nervous. His Aston Martin doesn't look as nice as the Mercedes behind. So yeah, I think Lakita's got to cool it a bit, and he's still in it, but he can't afford to do that again because he's got a few fast boys behind him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fast boys behind him. That's the beauty of the sprint format. It does tend to shake up the order. Nick even said that he loved one-shot qualifying when we were asked him earlier, and that's why it is coming to fruition. I would see the two McLarens working together. Do not fight these boys too much and then focus on the rest of the race, because I think these two are going to be fighting in the top 10 anyway, in the back half of the top 10 in the main race, as we're seeing more fights happening further back. This is very close, this P1 tier. Everyone is in the DRS train. This is really great to see. It's a track where it's really hard to overtake though, so having a good qualifying, I have to say, would be somewhat key if you want to start inside the top 10 in order to get a good shot at the win for the sprint race, because if you're outside the top 10, then you're going to be a bit buggered. So Oshin looking to redeem himself once more. Senna, he's dropping back a little bit. This is not ideal. This could give a good chance for Nit to close in within the DRS. Same with Casper as well. Marco, I would expect him a lot higher, but he is struggling a little bit. The sun, I agree, it's an absolute nightmare around this track for the drivers, but absolutely beautiful to look at for us in the commentary box.
Yeah, Michael's just overtook Lukey previous up there, so he was down 8th, but he overtook Lukey into turn 1. That was one of the 2 overtakes into turn 1 I noticed. Obviously, the 2 McLarens swapping positions, but yeah, the key was just the McLaren boys look really good here. I think they should work together. I assume they're communicating with each other, so they should work together here. And if they keep swapping positions, it's going to be hard for these other guys to really get in there. And but as Craggy's having a look at Lukey, Lukey may lose 2 places in 2 laps. Craggy's go round the outside, the line to take, but Lukey keeps it well there. But can Craggy send the inside here? He can break up inside here nicely. Lukey will have to concede the position, I think. No, but he stays side by side and going to bang wheels almost. The side put the wheel there, but I think Craggy will have the inside line there and he's through there. So Craggy's up to 8th. In fact, Lukey's lost 2 places in 2 laps.
Yeah, he has lost 2 places in 2 laps. Unfortunate for him, but he's still got a long way to go. Maybe he's doing this tactically so he can start on the front row in the main race, potentially. So I wonder if he's doing that, or maybe he's just struggling on pace on those medium tyres. Meanwhile, his teammate Nick doing a decent job in 5th place, with Senna at the helm as well. Elsewhere in the background, we've got Jonas Albert in a Red Bull sandwich. We've got Axellock in front of him and Kieran chasing him down behind. And a Red Bull sandwich is definitely not a place you want to be in. I could tell you that, as we've got, I think, Callum unarmed also trying to chase him down as well after having a poor race. I've been Mike, I have to say, one of our commentators, of course, you've got to support the commentator. He's out of DRS, but he's still keeping in touch in distance of this front lot. And this is one of those tracks where he hasn't raced at all in any of the F1 games, and he's doing a decent job to keep within this DRS train.
Yeah, as I showed tonight, it is very hard to overtake, and as Jonas has looked there at Axellock, but Axel does have a DRS on Lukey, and that helps him out there. But yeah, Callum's made some good progress. Obviously, he was last at the first corner, but up to 13th now, so he's making some good progress. And you have to say, the whole field, the whole top 14 are in DRS of each other. Obviously, Bell's just about dropped out. The 2 Alpines having a nice scrap for 15th place, but yeah, it is very close. And obviously, the DRS around here, because you run such high wings, like over 40 rear wing up to 50, the DRS effect is a lot more than other tracks. You gain, I'd say, a good 6 tenths down the straight with DRS easy. So keeping the DRS is critical for your race. Yeah.
Keeping in DRS, I have to say, it's vital for both the main and the sprint race, because if you're out of DRS, that's when you're going to be in the spot of bother. And if you're the one chasing down for the win, just don't go for the DRS too much. There could be times where you could stay behind. If you feel like you're not going to lose that much time staying behind, just stay behind, just gain, so you can gain some ERS that way. And then on the final few laps, that's when you can challenge for the sprint race win. Of course, it won't count towards stats. Oh, she's gone a bit wide. I think that would have been an opportunity for Lakitu to get past. Lakitu using a lot of the track limits there, as well as Oshin, I think, going to go around the outside in towards turn 1. Yes, he does. So Oshie takes the lead there. And yeah, this is a DRS train we're seeing at the moment. Meanwhile, Entity and Callum unarmed, as Callum tries to go around the outside, becomes the inside line heading towards turn number 4. And all switch back from one of the Williams of Entity. Both of them have not had the best of races so far, but Entity trying to cut up at the inside. And that's worked for him into 13th place. He's got to gain 2 more places to have a good start in the main race, of course, because otherwise he's going to be in a spot of bother. But that was really entertaining stuff. Senna, by the way, having a really good exit in towards, I think it was turn 9. Oh, it's hard to tell what. I'm losing count on corner names. Turn 7, I believe, was the corner name. Now then towards turn 10 now. Really nicely done from Senna. Clipped a lot of that curve. And I think what Senna's got to do now is just hope that the top 3 make a mistake, because you do not want to lose time just fighting for it, because otherwise Nick's going to try and go for a pass as well if you make a mistake.
Oh, Luke, I was going to mention penalties, and Lukey picks up. Obviously, with this tight field, if you get a 3-second penalty, you can drop about 6, 7 places. So avoiding penalties is crucial. And Lukey was giving track limits was being a bit liberal track limits in that last lap. As Lukey's at the moment there, Nick has a big swap on there, but he managed to hold it together. But yeah, obviously there are certain places in this track where you can take advantage of track limits, and I believe Axellock is going to get the move done on Lukey. Lukey's lost ground to the car's head, and Axellock's going to move to 9th position, and Lukey, that penalty is going to drop outside the top 10.
Oh, which won't be good, as Nick's losing quite a bit of ground as well, as Casper getting a beautiful move on Nick. There was quite a lot going on, so I didn't really see that, and Casper's going to kill me, I know it. But Casper's up to 5th. Both Mercedes are doing a decent job out there at the front. I don't know who's got the fastest lap so far, but the top 8 still have a realistic shot of winning this race. Atslot out of DRS, but he's gained back that DRS as well because he used a bit of VRS to catch up. You really don't want to be using that around this track, I can tell you that. And there are some corners, especially with it being the time of day that it is, you can mistake it being the triple right-hander, but it's not. So these drivers got to be careful with that. As you can see, your order at the moment, Oshin leads, but Malvin, Lakitu, Senna, Casper, and then Marco. Marco's getting a brilliant run on Casper, as we've got Craggy getting a brilliant run on the triple right-hander in towards, I think, I can't remember what's in turn 14, and in towards 15 they go now, and I think Craggy's going to get past Nick here. Nick's got to be careful, he'll be running out of DRS soon if he's not careful. Atslot right behind as well, as I think we're seeing someone ghosted, which is not ideal, but here comes Craggy to the inside. Yellow flag, that is Mike that's had a bit of a moment, that explains it. You can see Atslot trying to go down the inside in towards turn 1. Nicely done from Atslot, up into Nick to 8th. Nick, I don't get it. Nick's struggling out there. Does he have a... Hopefully he doesn't have a default setup on, because he was starting so well, so maybe he's got a setup where it's too punishing on the tyres towards the end of the stint.
Yeah, no, in the sprint, sometimes you can maybe... I know Nick wasn't winning the max tyre pressures on the right tyre, so maybe he's struggling with that a little bit, as Kieran has also passed Lukey for 10. He was in that anyway with the penalty, but it gives him more security there. But yeah, both Ferraris are struggling a bit now. I wonder if they're going to bit too aggressive. Obviously, with the Robbie restart stuff, you can run a quali setup and a race setup. Obviously, with the one-shot quali, you have to run the same setup in the between sprint quali and the race. It'd be a bit of a nightmare trying to change it between the two, such short turnaround. But yeah, and I think Nick's maybe paying for that a little bit. As J-Storm, that's his 3rd penalty, I believe, so he's struggling a bit with track limits. And that fastest lap you mentioned, Malvin has the fastest lap of the race. Obviously, no point for it, but yeah, the two McLaren boys are doing a great job out front.
I was kind about that in the main race. I was like, yay, fastest lap. And someone told me, you don't get any points for it. I was like, damn. So yeah, so we're sort of like in real life. You don't get fastest lap in real life in the sprint, so that's what we're doing so far. Ocean goes around the outside. It's going to be a good chance for Lakitu to go down the inside. A bit of banging wheels there. He almost did a dive bomb there, so Marvin caught a bit off guard. They touch. This could be a good opportunity for Senna to capitalise. This is what he was looking for. I said to Senna, be patient, and the reward is coming to him right now. Senna's up to 3rd. Now Malvin's dropping quite a few positions. I wonder if Malvin's got some end plate damage.
No, I think he was just unsettled, because when Lakitu passed him, he sort of went off track a little bit, and I think this track's all about rhythm. If you're on the wrong line for one corner, then you're going to lose a bucket load of time place. That's what he's done there. So he's lost 4 places about in a sector, but I think he's back underway now. But the McLaren control's gone now, and now I think Lakitu's going to fancy taking this win. Obviously, the penultimate lap, so he's in a great position. If he get a great exit out of the last corner, it could be his race to win. But I think, as you know, it's fighting for the sprint and last lap track position. Being in the lead isn't always the best thing. No,
it is not, but you got to play it very smart, because there might be people in 3rd place that might be fighting with the driver with 2nd place as well. So, Oshin, you got to be defending for your life here in this final lap. Starting the final lap in P1. Yeah, he's got a bit of battery. That is important. If you have battery on the final lap, use it to make sure no one has a sniff. Just use it a bit into turn 1. Oh, Lakitu's going to go down the inside towards turn number 1. This was perfect for Lakitu, but Oshin's going to try and go around the outside. Oh, contact between the both of them, and he got end plate damage. And this is going to be a great opportunity for Senna to get the race win here, which is probably not what he was expecting, as Oshi's retired from the session. That was a bit unlucky there as well. Sprint races, it's going to cost you, instead of him starting in like 8th or 9th for the sprint race, Jamie's going to start last, yeah. But Malvin's still got a good chance of starting well in the main one as well. So here comes Craggy around the outside. This is going to be brave if he can make it stick. Oh my goodness, and we got Nick in there as well. Craggy does get Marco on this bit of the lap. They're now heading towards the triple right-hander. Lakitu's hoping his lucky stars. How much ERS has Lakitu got at the moment?
He's got 40%, and Senna behind's got 14. So I think
this is Lakitu's. just burn the battery as you head towards the final corner. Final corner, just press the overtake button, and you got this one in the bag, because no one else is going to respond to that.
Out of here. He should have it done,
he's got all a bit of a squirm, but here comes Elgato up to the line. He starts his weekend off right. He wins the sprint race. Well, it won't count as a race win, but he got 10 championship points, which will help him in the slightest. Mike has retired. I didn't see the rest of the order because they were all so close, but those last lap were absolute chaos.
Yeah, so he does win the race, but I wouldn't be surprised if that incident was in the steward's room. Obviously, I didn't get a good look at it, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's in the steward's room. But it won't affect the grid for the race because it's too early. You can't make decisions on the fly. But Elgato will start 10th in the race, but his win may be under control there. But yeah, he's won the race with Senna in second, Casper in third. Could come back for the Mercedes. Malvern in third, Craggy in fifth, Mark in sixth, Nick in seventh, Axelock in eighth, Key in 7th, Entity in 10th, and he will start on pole position. Callum, good comeback to 11th, but just missed out on that pole. Lukey is going to be in 12th, penalty cost him there, same with Jonas. Barrett in 14th, Jay Storm in 15th, Mike in 16th, and Oseen, obviously, last. He was leading until the last lap, and then that incident happened, and he retired from the race.
Oh my goodness, what a story to unpick here for the main the sprint race. Of course, Entity played it just right, and of course, Entity did a fantastic job keeping it clean in the Jeddah race last time out and getting a podium. And I asked him in the drivers' press conference quite a few questions, and it was interesting to hear from him actually, because his form was improving. He asked how he's finding the tier this season, and do you think he continue this great form from Jeddah for the rest of the season? And is a win also on the cards? And he said the P1 tier has been so close in keeping consistent. He feels that his pace has been so good in both races, and he hopes to keep this up throughout, as his goal is to finish in the top 3 of the Drivers' Championship. Well, you're doing well there at the moment. A win may be difficult, but maybe with a little luck, you could get one. But the sprint has shown it's so hard to overtake. As long as Entity can keep it penalty-free, he's got a really good chance at the race win in the main race.
Yeah, track position is king on these sort of races, and so yes, you've got a great position there, starting 10th, and obviously he does have the pace to win races for sure. And this you couldn't ask for better than this, starting in pole position with some of the faster guys further back. So he couldn't have asked for a better chance than this. Obviously, the guys around him are quite good. The two Red Bulls are quick, Key and Axelock, they've won races in the past, so it's not going to be easy for him, but it's a great opportunity for him to get that race win, and championship is on for him. But I think about 10 drivers in this tier can get championships, so it's hard to tell who's going to be. It's the most competitive top tier we've had in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking this tier. I mean, I think the last few seasons it was only like 2 or 3 drivers that were in the running for the championship, and then we're getting, I think, multiple people in the championship fight. I'll try and get the standings up on my screen once again. But going into the races today, it's separated by 1 point. I don't know that's going to make effect once we get past the sprint. I know Cam will be updating the order as we speak, but 1 point it's nothing, which means if you have a bad race, it's going to hurt you. So I believe, if my math is correct, due to Craggy finishing far down, Senna will be leading the championship going into the main race.
Yeah, that's quite good for him, and yeah, obviously that's very much live. And as I say, some of the drivers could be leading it, but yeah, Senna is in a good position. Obviously, I believe he won a championship in the past, if I'm wrong to be corrected. So I think that was in the second tier.
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
I think he won a P championship in the past. So yeah, he's looking to maybe do a top tier championship. As if he's in the P2, P1.
Welcome back. Apologies. I had some internet issues, so please tell people to refresh if they can't join back, which means, Lukey, if you're watching, can I have another invite, please? That would be lovely. Actually, I think I've got a spare invite anyway. I can't remember what we were talking about before we were going on to the main action, but yeah, so many people are gonna be in the fight for this championship now as well, with Callum taking the win as well. Callum is probably my biggest surprise for not doing as well this week in the spread. He was worried about connection issues. I wonder if that's come back to bite him, because he had a bit of oversteer heading towards the first few corners, and that's compromised his main race action, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, consider he finished 11th in that. And he wasn't that far off 10th. If he didn't have that moment, it would easily be in the top 10. So yeah, it definitely did cost him. I'd say he would have finished like be 7th or 8th, maybe even higher without that, because he was quite. Yeah, he had a good start, and then out of turn 2, he just had a big moment, and he's very DNF. I don't think anybody got damaged from it. So it was unfortunate his end, but it could have been a lot worse. But obviously, he won't be feeling that. But 11's not a good starting position, but it could have been a lot worse. So he's
on for some points.
Still, and he's around guys that are quick, to the likes of the Mercedes. So if he can stick with them guys, he can get back in that lead.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got a really good chance to still pick up some good points as well. And we do know in the races earlier on in the main feature race in P2, we've seen people that are roughly around that pace, like Pup, for example, struggled in the opening few laps, and there were a few people that were able to gain a bit. So it's not over for Callum. Even if you start 11, you could be on for a good result. I do believe, if I'm not too mistaken, Funky started near the back, I think, in P2, and I think he still managed to get into the top 10 in the points, which was good. So yeah, he can still pick up some points, but I know he'll definitely want a bit of a podium. So I'll pick up some pre-race interviews whilst we wait, because we are still waiting for the lobby to get going. A lot of people were asked about the track extending, because we have seen quite a few race penalties in quite a few Qatar appearances that we've had in the past. Last time we were here, of course, season 23. Axlock said he tries not to think about the track limits. The more he thinks about it, the more he extends. That is true, because if I think about it too much, I think of the same thing. Callum Unarmed saying it will be difficult to not get a penalty, but there's something he's going to watch out for. Senna saying he's going to push what he can. Last week he wasn't afraid of the walls, and the same goes for track limit. And he even said, what kind of driver would he be if he's afraid to push? I agree. If you're like Senna, if you're afraid to push, you just got to lose so much time against some faster guys.
Yeah, in this tier, you've got to be on it, because if you're a couple tenths off your best, you're struggling to score points. So you've got to be on it. You've got to commit, and yeah, definitely, and I think that's good. That's a good mindset there from Senna, and she's been a bit unlucky this season with some of their races, and he's looking to maybe have a better result this week. Obviously, he said he doesn't like this track, but I'll say get P3 in a sprint on a track you don't like. I'd take that for sure.
Yeah, I would take it. I would take a P3 in the sprint any day. It's better than finishing like outside the point, and especially only 10 drivers can score points. If you can score points in both races, then that will be, I think, a much ideal place to be in. As I don't know what's happening with my main monitor. I don't know why it's having a moment. Lots of technical issues today. I think we're just waiting for a few more drivers to get going before we head to the main race action. Me and Jack always go through race predictions at the start of each stream, but I forgot to do that because I'm an idiot. But now we've seen the main sprint race, Jamie, who is your pick, top 3 pick for the race win? Of course, we've got Kieran on pole, I believe.
Yeah, we've got Entity on pole, but
Entity, sorry, my bad.
I'm gonna go. I fancy Kieran for the win. I think he could be on for a win today. I'm gonna go Senna second, and for third place, I'll go Ocean for third place. That's my prediction.
Ocean, yep. Or is he starting at the back? So he retired.
Oh, I think he might have a comeback drive.
You see.
Not my bold prediction. That's my bold prediction. He's going to think of a great strategy, masterful strategy and move. I know it's going to be difficult, but you never know. Strange things happened.
I've got a prediction. I think it's going to be, Senna P1, Entity P2, Kieran P3. That's going to be my prediction. Let us know in the chat on who you think is going to win this race, and I will get the chat open as well. And let us know what you thought of that sprint race. And Jason even said in the chat he loves not having the pace and being at the back and might just retire from racing. A lot of people were like that earlier on in our tier, but we've seen that with people like Callum.
Yeah.
Had a really poor race in race 1. Of course, he retired a few laps in, and he managed to get a win in race 2, and we saw another driver in P2 struggle to get a point in the first few races. Got his first points in One Hub today just by keeping it clean and hardly getting any penalties. So just don't give up, because we've had some really great moments tonight after people having rubbish races. Proverb got his maiden race win in One Hub after he had a bit of a struggle in race 1 in Imola with a wheel, and his second race on the wheel, he got a race victory. So it's important just to not give up, because you got brilliant moments like your first point scoring in One Hub or your first race win in One Hub.
Yeah, and believe it or not, actually Proverb's a former champion, so he's a champion who never won a race, and now he's actually won a race after becoming a champion. I think that must be a first in any sort of racing division, I think. So yeah, shout out to him. And we're going to get underway very shortly for this race. We've got 17 drivers, and decent turnout. The turnouts in this tier have been strong this season. Obviously, we've had a full lobby in 19 and 17 this, and it's good to see commitment so late in the game cycle.
Yep, it is. And Jason, you're not going to get another DNF in One Hub. Just don't give up. Quite a few people in the chat about the last lap antics. Now, I would like you all to be very respectful in the chat as well. They will be looking at the Stewart instance very, very soon as well. Solu, I felt so bad for Solu because he had a really good sprint race. The feature race, he kind of got screwed, unfortunately. He could have been up there fighting for the race win. But unfortunately, I think he was just trying that you just can't overtake. But hopefully he can bounce back for round 4, because I know he's very quick around Netherlands. He said, Entity is my pick today. Would love him to pull off a win. Such an amazing sprint from him. Yeah, I think Entity has a very good chance if he could keep it clean. And I think Lukey has been given the call to the P1 drivers to ready up, and we're about to get racing. Keep your predictions coming in. We'll go for our sponsors in just a moment as well. And there's not really much to talk about, because we talked about quite a lot of the pre-race interviews. But I think there was quite a few people that were asked about the challenges of the circuit. Callum Unarmed, of course, got a podium last time out in Qatar. And he said hopefully he could be quick. Last time he ran out of fuel, so let's hope it doesn't happen again. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen again. And Senna doesn't like this track because it's high speed. And a few people just saying keeping it clean is crucial. And Casper saying it's probably the most fun track out of all the others. And I can tell with the way he was driving in that race. Casper was loving it, making moves left, right and centre. And the Mercedes were just pushing it out there.
Yeah, so very much a divergent opinion in the Mercedes garage there for this track, which you do get between teammates. I've had it with my teammates in the past where I love a track and a teammate hates it. But we
had that with each other.
Place on the... Yeah, they both finished around the same place on the track, so that's interesting to go out on that sprint. But yeah, anyway, we're about to get going with this main race, and I expect that starting tyres around here will either be medium or soft.
Yeah, do not go on hards. Whatever you do not start on hards, because it takes about, I think, 3 laps to get your tyres under temperature. I can't remember what strategy you did, but did you go on the hards at all in your race, or did you just stick to the mediums?
I started soft. I was planning to do soft, medium, medium, and I was going to do a fast lap attempt because I was outside the points, but then I had a disconnection and the game DNF'd the car for me. So
that was very annoying.
I also got a 10-second speeding penalty in the first pit stop, which was annoying.
So did my teammate. If she didn't have that penalty, she would have won. Yeah, it costed her the win, but she was still happy anyway. But anyway, it is night time here in Qatar. The drivers have been told to remember their setups. But before we go to the main race, let's quickly run through our sponsors and prizes. So, Next Level Racing, there are quite a variety of prizes that we're going to be offering this season, still to be confirmed, but this is what the drivers could be winning. Make sure you check out the video on our One Hub Racing channel done by our lovely League Racing owner, Nick, who reviewed the FGT Elite Light that Next Level Racing gifted him. So make sure you check that out as well. Brilliant relationship that we have with Next Level Racing since season 12. So brilliant, and it's great that we are keeping a sponsorship with them. Pure Sim Gear providing a discount code. So if you use the code OHR10P, you get 10% off Pure Sim Gear products. I might try and use this discount myself. And the winner of the most combined poles of fastest laps will win a pair of Sim Gear gloves or socks. And Solu in P2 doing very well with that because he's got 2 poles out of 3. And I can't remember who got pole in P1. No, but it wasn't Senna. So at the moment, it's pretty much 1-1 between Senna and Solu in terms of that. And I'm trying to remember who got fastest lap as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Our partners, Specification, supporting our championship apparel, including the winner of the Go and Get Stuff Award will win the Race to Dream t-shirt. And in order to win the award, you need to attend all races during the season, complete all your pre and post race interviews, and finish outside the top 3. Rankings. If you win the rankings, you win a Pole Sitter Premium t-shirt, and our lovely Cam, who does our lovely standings every week, provides that. So thank you, Cam. And finally, we have our partners at SimGrid. Without SimGrid, we would have to use Google Forms for signing up, and we would have to use an Excel spreadsheet for standings, and we would have hated that. So thank you, SimGrid, for providing that. And I think everyone is going through a tough time at the moment. Mental Health Foundation, it is good to talk. If you are struggling right now, the Mental Health Foundation can go and help you. So we've gone through our sponsors, and hopefully by the time we've gone through our sponsors, it should be time to ready up. And Jason saying in the chat, terrible track, give me China. I like China as well, and I think you'll probably have to agree with me. You like China as well, so I think I could definitely agree with Jason on that one.
Yeah, definitely. China's probably more strong. I'm doing this game, and older games is my strongest track, but new games make it weird, because I think the last time I raced Qatar, I was actually the quickest driver in the race, and tonight I was like one of the slowest. So games, like different games,
and different tracks. Yeah, and
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because I know a few game cycles ago, I was really quick in Netherlands. But in this game cycle, I'm absolutely slow. Don't know why. It's horrible with no traction. So it's gonna be a nightmare. I think it's gonna be another track where it's gonna be really hard to overtake very soon. But we should be getting underway shortly. I'm actually gonna see, I might do a bit of a refresh before we go to the formation lap. Have the standings been updated for the sprint? No, but it hasn't yet. Okay. I think Cam was too keen in our race because he was too keen, and he's not keen on that one. But anyway, we're looking at the tyres then. Let me get the gameplay scene up. Hold on just a second. That would help if I went on my other screen. So looking at the tyres then, bit of a mixed bag. We've got, unsurprisingly, Entity, Atslot and Nick on the softs. I know Nick was going to do a soft medium strategy anyway. Kieran on the mediums. Everyone from 5th down to 11th on the mediums. So is Lukey. Lukey's on the soft compound of tyres. Jonas Olbrit in 13th and Barrett in 14th on the mediums. Jason on the hards. That's a bit of a shocker. I said do not go on hards, and he's going on hards. Mike's on mediums. O'Sheen, unsurprisingly, on softs. He wants to climb his way up the field. And Escargo in 18th on the mean. So I'll run for your order then, because for first top 10. So for Entity, he finished the sprint in P10. He'll be starting from pole position. Kieran on the front row, Atslot 3rd, Nick in 4th, Marco 5th, Craggy 6th, Melvin 7th, Casper 8th, Senna in 9th, and Lakitu in 10th. So that is your top 10 order. 11th downwards is pretty much the same as before. But looking at the field, are you surprised to see quite a few people starting on soft? Because it seems to be quite logical to me. If we get an early safety car, you can easily go on mediums. And the undercut, we both found out, is just so powerful.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I am. But you got to remember, safety car probability one day is very low because obviously there's not much room off it. I think the best chance safety car will get is an instant in turn one. So that's where your best chance of a safety car. And yeah, the softs are. I think the best start tires. You don't really want to run. You don't undercut so powerful. I don't think it's the wise to save them to the very end. So I expect to see a lot of guys do softs, maybe middle stint. Go, maybe get some cheap track time, but. Yeah, I thought more guys start softs. I'm surprised only 5 guys started. I thought Harfield starting softs, but there you go. And these guys obviously know better than I do. And yeah, Jason on the hards, that is interesting. He's going to struggle for the first 4 or 5 laps of this race.
I think it was Thursday. I did medium, hard. And even though the hards felt good at the end of the race, you just lose a lot of time to the cars in front. So the hards are not viable, but if you get damage that one, then hards can last a fortune, 18, 19 laps, no problem. So it can get you back in this race as we are about to go racing in this championship. The main feature race, 5 red lights, is go, and we got both the Red Bulls getting a very good start across the line. So is NC towards turn number 1. Kieran trying to dive it around the outside, but couldn't quite make it work. Nick up into 4th. We can see Craggy trying to go for a brilliant move on one of the Williams drivers. And Malvin up into 7th place. The 2 Mercedes struggling ever so slightly. Again, very hard to overtake, but Entity doing a great job holding on to the lead. As Lakita's dropped to 11th, and it's quite a bit of a pile-up happening in the background. Lukey getting 2 places off of that.
What a start from O'Sheen, up to 10th place at the back of the grid. He is really aggressive at 1, and he's right with the guys he races with. O'Sheen, fantastic start, and that is one of the best starts I've seen in a while on a track like this. And he's actually not far off 7th place, so a fantastic start for the car man there.
Lukey around the outside. Oh, they're all being very brave in terms of moves tonight, aren't they? And they're getting a bad camera angle, so I'm going to go on board. A bit of banging wheels between the pair of them. Azuki tries to go around the outside in the S's, and rightfully so, he backs out of it. Fair play. You do not want to go for a move in the triple right-hander, because as I think I found out in one of the practice races, it could go horribly wrong. So we're about to start lap 2 of 29. It's going to be a long old race. They've got to keep an eye on fuel. That's what costed Callum Unarmed the race win last time out in season 23, and we do not want to see that very soon as well. We had the McLarens working together in the sprint. We're seeing the Red Bulls working together in the feature race. Axelot going around the outside. Kieran tried to cover him off. Axelot up into 2nd place. Axelot has not been very well recently, and he admitted to himself that he's not going to be that strong around here. But to be fair, gaining a place in the start is pretty good going for Axelot, and he's not doing too bad in the championship either.
Yeah, but I don't take much of these the T1 guys saying they're not going to do well on certain track. Yeah, they may not like it, but they'll still be quite quick, as proven by Axelot there. I find it very interesting that Axelot and Kieran have teamed up, because in the past, them two have not really got on that well, and it's a rather interesting team lineup that it is. It's working well though so far, because they're having a great start of the season. They're really competitive, and they're one of my 3 teams I think can win the constructors. There are 4 teams I think can win the constructors this year. So yeah, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, they are doing a great job. I have to say, both tiers in general, constructors, have just changed hands like every race. One team 1 week at the end of Imola, one team is leading the constructor, and the next week is the other team. It just changes hands very quickly, and it's all about that consistency. So if Red Bull can keep this up, this could be good. And Kieran did not have a good Jeddah race because he was on a pad. Here comes Axelot, here he comes, it goes for the lead. That was perfect for him, but NC's not going to give up without a fight here, going round the outside in towards turn 4, and Axelot takes the lead. And whilst we were doing practice race earlier, I was doing a bit of, whilst I was racing, I was just keeping an eye on the P1 driver's pace. Axelot and Nick's pace is a lot similar, so I can see why they're going on opting for the same tyre. But what Nick needs to do is try and get past Kieran before the soft tyres give up the ghost, because that's where Nick, I think, struggles a bit, is towards the end of the stint, where everyone else is fine and managing their tyres, where Nick struggles a bit. So Nick's got to get past pretty much in the next DRS straight, otherwise he's going to get swamped by the likes of Craggy and Marco.
Yeah, Nick, I know it's Nick from the hairpin there, he's very close running the back of Kieran there. He managed to back over it just about, and yeah, Nick was actually targeting a top 5 finish for the race, so he's very confident about his chances around here. And you have to say, so far it's looking good for him, but he's sort of getting a little bit detached in the front three. They're starting to pull away a little bit, but he's still in DRS, I think. Obviously, going past the detection zone now, so he's still in DRS. But yeah, Nick got a bit detached there in the last sector, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah. He has got to be careful. Oh, we got a pit stop. We got a pit stop. Craggy is going for the early undercut. We saw, I think, my teammate do that in the main race, and it worked wonders for them and, of course, Quinn. So it's unsurprising, really, as Kieran takes the lead from Entity. Nick in third.
Oh, it changed his wing. He got wing damage. He got
wing damage. Oh, no.
I was surprised he was on the mediums. I was surprised he pit so early, but he must have knocked his wing. I'm guessing that banging wheels had earlier on. But yeah, that's why. And around here, this is the worst track to have wing damage on by far. I had it in the sprint. I stayed out because I thought no point pitting, and I was about 2.5 seconds off my normal pace. So yeah,
you do not want to get front wing damage around here. You do not want to get front wing damage around here. Nah. I think I had that when I was racing the F2 cars on this game, and I had to pit. I tried staying out for like 3-4 laps, and then it was just a nightmare for the rest of it. So I was like, yeah, let's pit. Otherwise, I'm going to lose quite a bit of time. So. Yeah, unfortunate for Craggy, but again, not the end of the world, but that does mean he has to go on hards later on, because obviously he's starting on mediums.
I noticed something was happening to Axel, because he's dropped down to 4th place, and Kieran's in the lead now. So
it's softs are dying, Jamie.
Nick's up to 3rd, and yeah, Entity is right on the back there, so I wonder if Axel may fancy pitting this lap, or
that's what I would do.
Lap.
I think that was the earliest we saw people go out in P2 was the end of lap 4. So I would expect to see some people do it, but not everyone.
Staying out.
They're staying out.
But I think this lap will be the pit lap, as Entity is going to take the lead. He obviously pulls it early. He's got Nick round the outside. Nick is going to take the lead. Nick round the outside. He's going to have the inside for this corner here, but Entity's going to have the better line. But Nick is going to keep it there. Nick's fantastic racecraft from these front three, but Entity is going to keep it. And now Kieran. Got to get the run here, Kieran. So Nick sent it, but he's gained nothing, lost nothing because of it. But yeah, very brave driving there for the front three.
That was so close between all three of them. That's allowing Marco and Casper to climb up as well. As Marco tries to go down the inside of Casper. I think actually, no, it was round the outside actually in the end of sector 1. So Marco. Sorry, Jamie.
Malvern and Axel going side by side here. The banging wheels. The McLaren guys have been very aggressive there, and so the Red Bull guys. And is Malvern going to get it done? Yeah, Axel should pit this lap because he's dropping down the field like a stone. Yeah,
I think so. Axel should pit because he knows that his teammate's on the harder tyre, so you do have the pit priority. And when we've been teammates, it's always like if you're the one ahead, you have the pit priority, and that's okay. Yeah. O'Sheen's got a penalty. And Jamie, commentator's curse is just started because he's predicted that O'Sheen will have a comeback and he's got a penalty. Hopefully he doesn't speed in the pit lane. That was a late decision for Axel to come in the pit. O'Sheen is there as well. So is Lukey. Here comes Kieran. Here comes Marco. Kieran to the lead. Marco round the outside of Nick into P2. Nick must be struggling on those hards now because they're fighting with Nick as well. Oh my God, this is probably one of the closest races we've seen in P1. We thought that it's hard to overtake, but they're just overtaking like it's a track that's easy of overtaking, like Bahrain or Belgium, for example. This is great stuff.
Yeah, I think because the DRS is so powerful, because the high wings you run, they're so powerful. It's probably the most powerful DRS we have. Maybe Zandvoort, maybe second most powerful, but yeah, because it's so powerful, as we're getting overtakes. And yeah, obviously that late pit from the McLaren, it sort of ruined Senna's momentum down the straight, and that allowed Nikita to get through for 7th place. Jason is doing a solid job in on hard tyres, and obviously he's going to be very long, so Jason will lead the race at some stage, and he's going for an offset. And Nick's hanging on quite nicely soft. He's shooting much better tyre wear than he had in the sprint race.
Yep, he is. Maybe, Jamie, he's a lot better on the mediums, on the soft than he is on the mediums, because there's not much for tyre drop-off for him, maybe. I know he said, I think it was about after the end of 6 laps, he was on 56%, I believe. I think after 5 laps for me, it was about 40. But Nick would be pushing more than me because he's in P1 tier. So he comes in, Entity stays out, so he wants to be on the fresher rubber later on in the race, which could help. It helped the likes of Papa Sconch earlier, so with Entity, this could be good for him. So your race order at the moment, Kieran leads for Marco in second, Entity in third, Casper in fourth, and Malvin, your top 5, and the Keto running in 6th place. So that's your order thus far, and Senna in 7th. They're in 1 DRS train, a bit of contact between Malvin and Casper. Casper doesn't like the McLarens these days, and he does not want to have an incident with another McLaren this week because he had one with a O'Sheen last week, but O'Sheen was found to be at fault. So, but luckily no harm done there. Nick's come out ahead of his teammate, but with the undercut, Atslot has gone out ahead of Nick. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how the top 3 will go. I think Entity's got to lose a lot of time to at the likes of Atslot and Nick. So if I was Entity, I would pit Kieran and Marco. If you want to do medium soft, maybe pit around lap 12, 13.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, it's a very long pit there, the pit loss is quite long. It's almost as long as Imola. So you do lose a lot of time in the pits. It's around 20 to 27 seconds. So, yeah, Jason picks up a penalty. So he's the third guy to pick up time penalty. And, yeah, Entity should be in this lap. Yes, he is. So these medium guys, they'll go to a 4 or 5 laps, like you say. And obviously, expect Axlock to cycle to the lead of the race, but he'd be on a much worse tyres. So
yeah,
this is the interesting part of the race, where it's obviously in between pit cycles on the soft and medium tyres, and this is where you've got to really get to work. If you're these guys on the newer tyres, you've got to put some good lap times in.
Yeah, you've really got to put the lap times in later on in the stint, because if you're not that consistent enough, you're gonna lose a lot of time. And DRS, as I found, if you lose DRS, then you're going to lose time to the cars in front. And it's just important getting that undercut, as Atslot has got ahead of Entity by quite a way, actually. But Entity's still within that lead fight.
That's worked out
and
well
Lukey
for him.
as well. It's worked well for Lukey as well. 2-lap undercut. He's in this fight too.
Yeah, I think Entity's done well there. He's obviously on a bit of an offset, and he's with these guys, so he can work with these guys. He can give DRS, he can be able to have same pace as these guys. So that's worked well for him. So yeah, this is a track where the undercut is powerful, but you could definitely offset your way to a good result, as you did see in P2. So it's what makes it interesting, the varying strategy options. And to say Marco and Kieran, I think they should work together here. Even though they're different teams, they should work together here and try and just maybe DRS each other down this straight.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though they may not be in the same team, they got to be DRSing each other. And even though they might lose a bit of time, you would rather do that than someone lose DRS of each other. So Kieran takes the lead on track, and of course we've got both Mercedes still out. That's going to really come into effect in terms of pit stops later on down the line. More pit stops. Jason. Okay, I don't know what Jason is doing, but Jason's pitting early for set the mediums. I thought he would have gone out longer for set the mediums on the hards onto a set mediums, but he's pitting early. Lakita's on a set the hard now. Now that is interesting. I'm liking the various strategies right now, but Nick does get ahead of
Lakita was a spin. Lakita has a spin there coming out the pits. I think on the cold tyres, he's lit him up and he's dropped to the back of the field.
Has he got end play damage?
No, I think he just dropped it by himself on the curb. I don't think he hit a wall or anything, so I think he's fine in terms of damage.
Lukey! Lukey's got a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, that won't be the last time penalty we see from drivers. Obviously, track limits around here are quite difficult to manage.
Won't be the last we see from Lukey,
They're quite inconsistent at certain places. Well, there's some places track where you can really abuse them, and some places where you can't.
Norma corner, you can abuse quite a bit, as I found out. And there's quite a few other corners as well where I think I've abused it. Especially, I think, at just before, I think one of them just turned 10, one of them's turned 7. And I'm like, how on earth did I not get a warning by doing that? Is Marco going to get the lead? Nicely done. Working together there. That is bringing Casper in ever so slightly. Senna's in, so is Mike and Barrett. So they're going to drop quite a bit, Barrett and Mike. But with Senna, let's watch. No, we don't want the pit crew. We want to see Senna coming out of the pit, please. But let's just watch Nick, because Nick's got Atslot chasing him down with DRS. I know those two are in the party together, so I don't think Nick's going to be too bothered with Atslot overtaking him, because Nick is on the fresher rubber. So Atslot takes the net race lead so far, with Nick in second. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as well. I wonder what Marco and Kieran are going to be doing. Are they going to be doing two mediums and a soft, or are they going to do a medium, hard, medium, or are they going to do medium, medium, hard? It's going to be a tough order, I think, but that just shows how unpredictable the strategy is. O'Sheen gets past Callum on arms for the final points-paying position so far, but don't forget he's going to gain quite a bit more positions once our top four have come into the pits.
I think if you commit this far on one set of tyres, you are planning to run the soft tyre at the end, maybe the end of the race. So I think that's probably the way they're going to go. But I wouldn't be surprised if these two come in this lap. We've seen basically all the rivals pit, and Kieran stays out, but Michael comes in. I think Casper's staying out as well. So these guys are going for the Hail Mary strategy. Obviously, a safety car right now will be beautiful for them, but I can't see a safety car happening tonight.
No, we didn't get that in P2. To be fair, the only retirements were people retiring in the pit lane or people disconnecting. We didn't get any retirements at all. So yeah, I think it is
hard to hit the wall around here.
It is hard to hit the wall, unless you're in a big DRS train. But at the moment, I think people just finding their feet a bit more. As Marco has come in, so where does he come out? He's come way behind.
Battle between Malky and Craggy. Luke can go around the outside. Is he going to get it? Make the move stick? No, Craggy holds on. What can Craggy do about this? He can't do anything about it though. He's too far back, and yeah, he's going to have to back out of it. But yeah, them guys were three wide for the whole of the first sector almost.
Yeah, it was bloody hell. Free. That is just. I don't know how they're doing it. You could tell out of these drivers who likes track and who doesn't. I think some people will be glad to see this gone after this, because we won't race there until F125 when it comes out. We don't even know when the date of that's going to be yet. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than F124 is, at least, as Atzlock and Nick, I think based on practice, I think they're just pretty much going to be following each other and switching DRS with each other throughout the entirety of the race, as far as Atzlock's teammate comes into the pit, so is Casper. Jonas surely will be doing the same. No, he won't.
No.
Jonas stays out.
Well, he's going to have the glory of leading a lap here, so that's good. That's good for him to lead a lap, and obviously he's going for a very long first stint, so he's definitely doing medium, soft, medium, or medium, soft. There's no way he's going to do hards if he's going to win that long in the race.
Nah. I think you do not want to be touching hards at all, so I think medium, soft. I think do 12 laps on the mediums and then another 12 laps on the mediums.
He's going to go for net race lead, is he?
Entity going to go for the lead. Well, the net race lead. Entity's come out of nowhere, so he got past Nick that went off camera, and I think Nick just wasn't bothered. So Entity takes the race lead. One of our picks for the race win is doing fantastic out there.
Yeah, he went very wide there. He would have got one in there surely for that going wide there. But yeah, he's in the net lead now. And I think the problem with Nick is he had no DRS. So obviously he probably had two cars very close to him down the pit straight. So he couldn't really do anything. If you get DRS by two cars down the pit straight, it's very difficult to hold on. As I had that early in my race where two cars on DRS in me, and I had no defence whatsoever, because you can't defend a guy. It's got 30k more than you down the pit straight. It's impossible.
You can't. I had that in the last few laps, actually, when I had no DRS and the other two did, and they all both breathed past me in one corner. What's happened to Senna? Senna was passed by both Kieran and Marco in one corner, and it was no DRS. So I wonder if he was struggling in the triple right-hander.
Maybe he made that a bit of an instant. He's got no damage, so he's alright. He's still in DRS.
One of them, Williams has damage. That's Marco. He's got end plate damage. He's going to have to go into the pit, surely.
Yeah.
Speaking of pits, Jonas is in.
Pit now and just the cards on, because you're going to lose so much time around there. This is the worst.
Turn one. Contact made between Axelot and Entity. Nick's going to dive through the pair of them in towards turn number 4. And it's a bit of brake marker boards happening. And Nick, bravo, Nick takes the lead. Stop the count.
Yeah, great. Nick wants red flag now and no restart, but obviously that's not going to happen. But yeah, great race for him. Look at these front five. The front five are all within a second of each other, and Kieran's not far back either. Look at this. We've got the top 9 within 30 seconds of each other. This is quite incredible.
Yeah, Papa Squanch in the chat saying mediums were so nice. He did 27 on laps them in practice. Yeah, the mediums did feel good actually in the race. It didn't feel, even though the tyre wear was going up, you didn't feel like you were losing the back end or something. It just felt nice. But again, it does depend on the setup that you're having. Yellow flag. That is Lakitu. Lakitu was having
on hard tyres.
Yeah,
yeah, he's struggling big time on hard tyres. Our sprint race winner is not such a great main race, and yeah. The hards, it's not working for him.
Just because you win the sprint race doesn't mean you're going to have a good feature race. I mean, it's probably a curse, to be honest. So, yeah, it's a shame for Lakitu. Maybe go for fastest lap towards the end of the race because you can still get that extra point.
Got a great run here on Nick and coming out of last corner. This should be an easy pass to leave. Max looks too far back. Yep.
And I think Marvin's going to get past. Yes, he does. I think Nick didn't have any trouble with letting him through there because he knows he's going to have advantage with DRS on the next few laps. And he did get past Atsock as well. Callum's having a good comeback up to 11th, but Jason getting past into 11th. And hopefully the words I said on stream, Jason, is doing you justice because at the moment, as it stands, Jason will be getting points. So his first points in One Hub this season, even though he keeps telling me, oh, I should give up. But look, he's going to get points. So come on, Jason, just keep it on the track. Senna on the meanwhile.
Kieran's
going to get the inside. Senna around the outside. This is a tough corner to be able to do so, but they're still going to be side by side on this tricky part of the track. It's not the place to do it, but he's doing a good job holding it. Senna, I think, has the edge, but it's hard to tell with the camera. Yeah, Senna does have the edge there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, watch out for these guys, Marco, Senna, Kieran and Gasper. They're on much fresher tyres. Look how much they're getting out. These guys are now in the lead battle, and they should be way quicker than the guys in the lead of the race. This is where it's going to work. This is where it's going to get really interesting.
Nick's out of DRS. That is frustrating for Nick. We saw that in the main race.
No, Nick's still got DRS because obviously the detection point is way before last corner.
Oh, he was so lucky. He was so lucky there.
DRS. Yeah, because the DRS detection point is on the exit of the penultimate corner.
Oh, is it? That's why I didn't get DRS then in a few points of the race that we did earlier.
Yeah, so next time, you get a good exit at the penultimate corner and you should get DRS in the car ahead, as Nick is gained. Look how much he gained. He was 1.1 seconds behind. And
DRS is so
half
powerful.
a second now. So yeah, the Entity is right on his tail.
Yeah, I think Entity's got a brilliant shot here. I think for him, he said a top 5 finish will be good. And he usually keeps it clean around here anyway. I think Nick did well last time we were here too, if I'm not that mistaken. I'll check SingGrid in just a second. Actually, no, I won't say anything until the end of the race because Nick will kill me otherwise. But Melvin seemed to have much better pace on those two fresh laps of those mediums as Oshin and Melvin's teammate. Oh, contact as Oshin has had a bit of a spin with Callum. Oh no, Oshin's day has gone from bad to worse. Oshin is probably going to be reported in the stewards, maybe with Callum as well. That's gutting. Nick's got the good run here. Is he going to get DRS? I doubt he's going to get DRS. No, he's not going to get DRS, but he's got great straight line speed. He's using his overtake. Entity's going to go down the inside. Lovely move from Entity, but Nick's now going to have DRS. Marco goes round the outside into down the. Oh, it's hard.
I think Kieran's involved in that as well because he's in the pitch, change his wing, so Kieran was involved. So he's going to do his final stop now. Go on the hard tyres. Craggy was the first guy to do his final stop. He's gone hards. You pit now. You've got to commit to hard tyres, I think. It's too early to pit now on mediums, but obviously them guys might have used 2 sets of mediums as it is, so the hard tyres are an option for them guys because the soft will never do 13 laps in a day for some days.
The optimum pace is 4 laps. After that, they die. But it does depend if you prefer it on that. After 7 laps, I think it's like 60% or whatever. But it depends. It depends on your personal preference at the end of the day. As well on lap 16 to 29, halfway into this race. If you haven't already, make sure you give us a like on the stream. Give us a follow as well. And if you do !socials, you should be taken to our link tree, which has all of our information of our YouTube, Instagram, X, Discord, and TikTok, as well as our Twitch, of course. Now, because Entity passed Nick, that's allowing Nick to stay within this DRS trade, and that is very smart from him. But Nick's now going to be under pressure from a really chasing Marco now in towards turn 1. He goes down the inside. He tries to follow his teammate, but they made contact.
Oh no, his teammate, contact. I think there might have been.
Nick round the outside of Entity. Nick gets second. He capitalised that, and that was well done, well played from Nick there. He almost got involved with the incident himself. He must be counting his lucky stars that he wasn't.
No, I was that's what I said. Williams are going to do a double overtake there, and they're rivals, but they sort of screwed each other up there, and that's allowed Nick to get through into second place. And Nick, he's looking good so far. He's on the oldest tires everybody around him, but they're still hanging on quite nicely. And I'm going to find Nick pits this lap or next lap. I won't be surprised.
I
see Nick in the pit lane very soon.
Lap at the earliest, I would say, because if you do.
Axel lock up the inside of Entity. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
He can't quite get it done there. He's just too far behind. But it's good. He'd be Breman sitting beside here, side by side into the final penultimate sector. That wasn't gonna work.
That was all on Axel. It looked like he tried to go for the move. It didn't stick. I think it was Entity. I don't think that was anything that Entity did wrong there. But again, something to the stewards there.
2 Mercs get through.
Nick's in.
Into 5th.
Good shout.
Yeah,
good shout. He was losing DRS.
Axel's in as well. I think Axelock, he knew them tyres were done, so he thought to send a move. But yeah, I don't think he was alongside. Yeah, he's showing good pace. Obviously, Jonas in 6th place. He could be on for a top 10 finish today for sure, as these guys are going to go on medium tyres to the end. So Nick, he could be positioned to be a net race lead again. Where's his teammate going to be in relation? Obviously, Lukey pitted a lap earlier, and that's going to allow Craggy's through on the hard tyres. So Craggy in the hard tyres put himself back into contention, but he might struggle at the end with grip, I think. But
we saw that with Imola, didn't we? We saw that in
Craggy's in
Imola.
that lead at the moment. The guys who stopped first, but Nick should catch him quite easily here, I think.
I think we saw in Imola, I remember, that Kieran and Craggy were on old tyres. Craggy was on really old mediums, and Kieran was on 29 lap old hard. They still managed to get a podium. So I could see that Craggy wanted to do a similar strategy than what he did at Imola. And if he does make it work, then fair play. But he knows he's going to have the 2 Ferraris chasing him down, and Malvin eventually as well. Honestly, yeah. I don't know who's going to win this one.
Send it around the outside of Entity in the penultimate corner. Yeah, the 2 Mercs have done the Williams in the penultimate corner.
That's brilliant. That was brilliant for the two Mercs there. And one of them, I thought they were going to do a double stat. Luckily, they didn't. Otherwise, I was like, what are you doing? But Casper and Senna, that was perfectly executed. I know they're on a Discord call with each other, and they probably coordinated with each other. Right, go for it here. Go for it here. That was really well played from Mercedes too. And very close between them and the constructors as well. So if both of those cars do well today, they could climb up in the constructors and maybe lead it. But yeah, I can't call who's going to win, to be honest. Now, what else are going to change in terms of the pit stops? As Senna's on hards. Okay. Oh, yes, because he started on mediums, didn't he? He had no other choice.
He's done double medium, yeah. Yeah, he only had softs left, and he could have maybe... He's got a soft to go 4 or 5 laps further in the race. He pitted quite early onto the mediums. So, yeah, I believe Casper may be on the soft. Watch out for Jonas. He's not far behind these guys. He's got a penalty, but Jason having a good race as well. Jason's not that far behind Kieran, so Jason is definitely he's got better race pace than quali pace, I'd say.
I think he could be on for his first points of the season. He said to me, after sprint, he's like, you're not going to get points. And I said to him, believe in yourself, Jason. Believe in yourself, and you'll get points. And he likes his track as well. So we got Marco who's going to try for the lead. I think those two are going for soft, which worked well for Rich in P2. So I think this could be a blinder for the top 2, I think. I think this could technically work out between these two. So they may have pulled themselves a blinder here. Same with Casper.
Yeah, Nick has to get by Berra here. This is a must overtake for him. He cannot be stuck around Alpine for any longer.
Nikiti's in for the pit lane. So he comes out, but let's watch Nick. Where is he? as he gets past Berry. That was key. He didn't lose that much time on him as well. So that was important for him to make sure that he keeps past. He keeps in touch and distance with Craggy.
Yeah, definitely, and they've sort of pulled away from Lukey a bit. Lukey's at 3 seconds back, so these two have got a nice lead over everybody else, I have to say. And
Jason, no.
It's his second penalty, I believe. So
yeah, that's 6 seconds. Now,
no, it's 9 seconds. Sorry, 9 seconds.
I will get the penalties up because I know there's a few Jeff engineers. So so we got Marco on 3 seconds, and we got Jonas. Oh, we got Axelot trying to go for a move on Entity. They lost a lot of time due to they're banging up, but they did have a bit of contact earlier on, which does explain it a little bit. But yeah, as Nick does get past Craggy in at the S's, in the triple right-hander, I wouldn't be brave enough to go for a move there, but Nick's done it. Well, he had to.
Yeah, but the thing is, Craggy was just getting down the pitch straight. Surely, if once Nick gets great, he might get great exit at the last corner. I wonder if Nick may fancy deploying a bit of battery here to defend, but I don't think it's going to matter because I think Craggy will easily be passing him down the pitch straight.
Yeah, I think so. All pit stop. Barrett's come in. Barrett's come in. I think
Nick is deploying surely. Nick is deploying surely down the straight.
Yeah,
Craggy
he is.
Isn't gaining that much.
And neither of our top 4 is coming into the pit lane. So maybe we can see soft tyres. Oh, Lukey is fighting with Senna. Senna to the inside line in towards turn 4. And so is Axelot and Entity as Lukey just about edges Senna there on the exit. And that was key for Lukey. Now we got Axelot and Entity fighting once more. Don't forget Axelot has got a penalty. Entity doesn't. So this could be huge for Entity. Entity still could be on for a podium. This is great stuff. I'm looking to see their ERS usage. 51% for Entity. And that was Axelot, sorry. Axelot's got plenty of ERS. Entity does not. So I would say advantage Axelot when it comes to these types of moves being made at the moment.
Yeah. I wonder if Lukey, with this penalty, I wonder if he's acting as a bit of a support driver to his teammate Nick. Maybe trying to delay these guys a little bit. Obviously, it's a 3 second gap to Craggy now. So if he can hold these guys up a lap or two, that's going to affect their charge at Nick and Craggy. So as Casper is in the pit lane for soft tyres, so that's going to be 7 laps on them softs. So it's doable, but the last lap or so might be a bit difficult for him as Jason gets yet another penalty. And I think that's
here we go.
The
We got a huge train from Lukey as Casper's on softs, and Senna could still win this race. He could still win this race as Casper comes out behind them. Casper's going to be on a charge here, and I won't be surprised if Casper could be one of the favourites winning this race, but his tyres are going to be absolutely dead by the end of it. I would have pitted at the end of this lap, not the end of the last lap. So Casper's got to make the moves in these next few laps if possible.
Maybe Casper's thinking maybe a bit of trap positioning, because if he said another lap, he would have been another second behind these guys. So he's got to get by. Luke. I think Lukey's guy's got to get by really, because Lukey's the one that's struggling. He's on the oldest tyres and he doesn't even have the pace of the guys around him. He's going to go up the inside Entity there. Great move there for Casper, and that's the moves he has to do. They're the moves he has to do to really have a chance of winning this race.
Yeah, he's got to go for those moves there as well. Imagine, and he's got no penalties either, I don't think. No, he does not. Oh, we got the crew. Oh, Marco! That's what costed my teammate the race win in P2, and that's going to be exactly the same here. We could have had another maiden winner in one hub.
Yeah, no. It's very easy to do because the pit limit line is a long way down. Obviously, they changed the pit lane around here in 2020.
Coming out of the pit lane.
Yeah.
Marco's, I think, just going to... No. Nick gets the lead. But we got... Marco's going to be on fresher tyres, so is Malvin. So it could go either way.
Yeah, Malvin could be in a good position here. Casper has got ahead of Malvin though, so that early pit stop for Casper has helped him undercut the McLaren at Man. But yeah, this is very interesting. Look at this. We've got medium hard, soft, medium hard, soft. All tyre compounds in play here, and still in his game. The top 9 are all very close with each other. So this could be an all-time finish here with another 7 laps to go as Casper up the inside of Senna. Obviously, Senna on the hard tyres will be struggling, so I believe that was the choreographed move there by the McLaren team.
Yep, I think that was as well. I think Casper's got to get past the likes of Axelot and Marco very, very soon. Malvin, 3 seconds! And Malvin's had a bit of a moment.
I believe he touched the rear of Senna there. I believe because Senna was unsettled, and that's going to allow.
Of Entity. Whoa! Moved out. Oh, that was move of the stream. That was move of the stream. Senna, I'm going to get you to clip that, please, because that was beautiful. Beautiful from Senna.
Yeah, very, very no hold barred racing here, banging wheels, and you have to really, because track position is king, and if you're at the back of this train, you've got no chances. Jonas just pit for the soft, so he's going to drop behind these guys, but Entity's going to get a run here, but no problem. Senna's got DRS as well. Entity, look at
his hard camera.
Oh my God. Inside line. He's going down the inside line, but Entity's on the outside. He's getting the move done as the Red Bull head has a bit of a twitch, but Entity is going to get this done into turn 2, and yes, he is ahead, but will Senna fancy a send into the hairpin? You can do moves in the hairpin, but it relies on the other driver giving you space, which
it's an 8-car
these
fight.
Guys are just about doing, I'd say.
It's an 8-car fight for the lead of the win of this race, Jamie. Oh
yeah,
my
definitely.
God.
Nick's winning at the moment. And he's doing a great job on these hard tyres, hanging on.
He is.
Fair play to Entity. He's doing a great job.
And so, yeah, Craggy on the hards, I have to say. I'm going to predict it now. Craggy or Casper for the race.
Hard, sorry,
Craggy or Casper for the race win. Those are my pick. The
yellow flag. That's Berra having a spin, I believe. Yes, he's just recovering from that spin in 16th place. No DNF so far, so great finishing.
And no safety cars.
Great winning, and obviously, I believe we've got another lap or two where the safety car can come out, and after that there'll be no more safety cars. It'll be too late for the safety car, as Craggy is going to get the junior past Nick here. I think Nick's led a few laps here and he's managed to hang on, so I don't know if Nick's got great
using a bit of battery.
Or he's using battery, but Craggy's got a great run here. He was in hot lap briefly, went to medium, and he's backing out of it. Now, we have seen drivers doing in the past, and it has bitten. They have backed out on moves, so they could have gone for it, and I think Craggy's got to be careful, because look at Marco and Malvin. Malvin's actually overtaken Casper. Yeah, he's got a penalty, but Malvin's overtaken Casper. I wonder if Casper's having tyre trouble already.
I think Nick's going to hope that Marco's tyres start to give up the ghost. Same with Craggy here. I've already promised Nick quite a few things if he gets a podium today. Lakiti's got a penalty as well. So as it stands, your top. Kieran will be your final point scorer, but Kieran will jump up massively as well. I think I'm just trying to do the maths. I think it will be Mercedes that will be leading the constructors after this race if things stay as they are, because both Mercedes have no penalties. They will jump up to, I think, the podium places at least, or if not, like 4th or 5th place. I think Casper will try and do that as well. And you can tell who's struggling and who's not, as Craggy's tyres could go on forever. So it will get to a point where Craggy's hard tyres will be better than Nick's mediums.
Watch out for Marco here. Watch out for Marco. He could take the lead here.
Marco could take the lead. 2 into 1. Does it work? And Nick did not fight that one at all. Fair play to him as Marco takes the lead of the Grand Prix. As Marvin's going to get him, Nick, as well, maybe into turn 4. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, Casper doesn't have the pace at the moment, though. I believe he's maybe trying to save tyres a little bit. Let's look at Malvin. He's got to go for it here, really. You have to go for it now. And these soft tyres, like Marco's done, you got to get track position and try and somehow fight these guys behind. As Nick's in a good position here, but he's got to send him inside, and Nick gave him a good amount of room there, and he's going to get the move done. I don't think Nick fought that too hard.
No, he knows he's got a penalty. He knows he's got a penalty. As long as he stays within the DRS train, he should be all right. He'll still be on for second if it can keep this up. Which, for him, he'll take. So I don't think he would expect... Oh, no!
Craggy's got a penalty. So, Nick, at the moment, if
Nick's the net race leader...
Casper... Yeah, Casper's his main threat, but I don't think Casper has got the tyres to last through the race. So Nick's in a good position so far, but he's just got to avoid instance.
He's just got to avoid instance and keep it in the DRS train. That's all he's got to do.
I think he might have to pass Malvin here, because I think Malvin is now starting to hit the cliff a little bit. So I think he's got to pass Malvin here.
He's got a bit of use of ERS, Nick. He's got to. You can't afford to have held up. Here he goes. He's got plenty of battery anyway. So here he comes. Nick, I can't remember when his last race win was, but it was a long time ago, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Probably
Maybe
since
it was like...
the first, probably since, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but I don't think he's had much win since season 10 or something. So it is still possible. But Casper could be on for his first win of the season as well. And what comeback that would be after having a bad race 1 and race 2 getting caught out by Oshin in the McLaren.
He won. I know he won a race China season 13. I don't know anything after that though, because I wasn't not really been in the same tiers as him since then. So he'll know himself is, but he's still 3 laps to go though, and those front 2 are start. They've got a gap on him now, so Nick's got to find a bit of pace here. This is not done yet. Marco is almost at the penalty gap now, so
Marco could still win this race. Marco's
got the 3 seconds. He's got the 3 seconds, I think.
Yeah,
so
he has.
Nick's got
Let me check.
He's got to find some pace.
Yes, 3 seconds. 3 seconds is the gap between Marco and Nick. So
And
Nick's got to push.
Tell you what, Casper's not out of this yet. Casper's not out of this yet at all. He's right with these guys. So Casper maybe fancying taking 3rd place after this pit straight as a Nick's. I think Nick's maybe struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe
he's struggling a bit on those mediums. Yeah, I think the softs are. Oh, as we got 3 wide in towards T1. Casper, this could be for the win of the race here. Here comes Casper. Rubbish camera angle, but there we go around the outside. Casper takes a net race lead. He's got to now close the gap within 3 seconds of Marco to take the race win.
Yeah. That's what he's got to do, but the only problem is he's defending, and if you defend, you lose time, race time. So, yeah, Marco's in a great position at the moment. If he can keep them tyres in check, he can win this race for sure. Because I don't think Casper's going to get the gap he needs on Malvern on the pit straight. So, Nick could still be in with this, but he's got to stick with these guys. He cannot afford to let these guys. And he's lost at the moment there. Nick's starting to struggle, I think. Nick, he should be off a podium still, but I think the race win is looking a long shot now for him.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but of course, you have people. We saw that in the P2 tier, didn't we? Where we saw people on the soft. We thought that the softs were going to die, but there's so much. Someone's made a mistake.
Marco's got 13 seconds, so at the moment Casper will win the race.
Casper will be winning the race. And then Craggy.
Between Craggy, Casper, and Nick for the win, I think. Between them 3.
Ooh, interesting. Casper's going to hope he doesn't get a penalty now with 1 lap to go soon. Yeah, final lap of this race. I had to check because I've called the race win
Watch
a
out
lap
for
early
Nick
before.
here.
Watch out for Nick. Nick's going to get both of them into T. What a bit of contact being made. This could cost them time. They can't defend like this because otherwise Casper could take the race win on track here. Nick to the inside. There he comes. It's going to be so tight for him as a gap between Nick and Craggy is 2.4 seconds. So at the moment, Nick's on for the race win here. Mark is gutting, so I forgot Mark. I had that 10 seconds, to be honest. But we're going to see a repeat of what we saw in at the P2 tier, where the driver who won on track lost on track because she got a 10-second penalty. Craggy's not out this yet. I think Craggy could get this one. Nick can't. Oh, he's got to push. Nick has got to push. I'm sure he would not take P2 if he just missed out on the race win here. We've got a few more sections of the track to go. Fair play to Marco. Without that 10-second penalty, he would have got the race win in the bag. Marco's driven amazing today as they all head towards the final few corners for the final time.
Casper's got to send it here. Casper's got to
send
it here. He's got a penalty though anyway.
Casper's got a penalty. Marco takes the win on track. Craggy takes Marco's vision off him. It's going to be very close. Who's going to take the win?
Nick's won it.
Nick that takes the win of the Qatar Grand Prix. First win since season 10.
Wow, very, very impressive. Wow. Impressive drive there for him. Well done. Great win there for him. I was not expecting that
from Nick.
Yeah, Craggy, great drive on hard tyres, Entity. Oh, great drive on the whole top 10. All the front runners so close to each other. Very impressive. And
Malvern as well.
Say, that was a great race. Very close. Look at the gaps between Casper, Malvern and Entity. Entity get the podium, but that penalty cost Casper 2nd place.
I think everyone in the management chat and in the Twitch chat is going to be going absolutely crazy right now.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
who I'm giving my drive of the day to now? I've got to. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But I said,
that's fair enough.
I said if he gets a podium, I was going to give him drive of the day, and I could not disappoint that. At least it gives me a chance to think of a question for Nick. So yeah, and he gets drive of the day as well. Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing.
All it took was a switch to Ferrari. Eh? All it took was a switch to Ferrari, and he's won.
That's going to help him with the team objectives, isn't it? Because if you're not in the top 6 in the championship, then you're not going to race in Ferrari colours next season. So I think Nick's in a good place for that. So yeah. And I've got an interesting stat for you. This is Nick's first win in the top tier in one hub.
Wow, well done. That's very impressive. Well done. Shout out to him there. And yeah, I was going to run down through the order for you. Got Nick in first place, Craggy in second, Entity in third, Casper in fourth, Malvern in fifth, Senna in sixth, Axelock in seventh, Marco in eighth, Jonas in ninth, Kieran in 10th, Lukey in 11th, and round out the point scorers is Lakito in 12th. Jason just missing out in 13th. He had good pace, but too many penalties. Barrett in 14th. Callum gets a fast lap point in 15th. Escargo gets 16th. Mike gets 17th, and O'Sheen a last place in 18th. Everyone finished. That's good to see. The fast lap inside top 10, I believe. It is
22.
Malvern.
Yes, Malvin got fastest lap inside the top 10. Very close though for Jonas. Jonas had another good result. Another top 10 finish in the top tier. His first season in the top tier, and he's impressing. I have to say, thrown under the radar a little bit. I'm very impressed for Jonas. But for now, we got to pick our drive of the day. I picked mine, but I'll think of a question in a second. But Jamie, who is your drive of the day, and what would you like to ask him?
This is very difficult because so many. You can pick about 10 people for this, but I'm gonna go for a guy who went for a slightly different strategy and got a great result for him. Was within inches of winning that race. I'm gonna go with Craggy because I think he drove really well. I know it's boring picking first second drive day, but I think he deserves a nomination for that. I'm gonna ask him. Well done, mate. Good result. Must be gutting to miss out on the win, but how were them hard tyres? Nobody really fancied them, but you did. How did you feel they were in that final stint?
It looked like Craggy had the perfect strategy out of anyone in that final stint as well. So I think that's what I would have gone for if you went for Nick instead. But yeah, if you probably haven't guessed it, my drive of the day has got to go to Nick. I promised I would if he got a podium, and he did. And to top it all off, he's got the race win. He did better than me because I got the sprint race win and he got the main race win. So anyway, my question for him as well. You played the strategy absolutely perfectly today. Congratulations on your first ever win in the top tier. What were those final few laps like for you as a driver? Was it very, very tense? And did you think you were going to get that race win there? Because it seemed to me that you were almost going to lose it. But obviously we didn't know about Marco's penalty. So yeah. I need to figure a way to word that question somehow, but I'm going to be the one doing the drive of the day press conference, so I can figure that out. But what a race, what an evening. We've had a maiden race winner in the P2 tier, and we had someone who's he's ended his winless streak, and he's now got a race win. So that is going to be amazing to put on our socials later on. But next week, Jamie, you're obviously not going to be here. Jacob will be back. He was doing a bit of Bathurst this weekend, so of course he needed to have a weekend off. Netherlands next week. What are you going to expect? Another track where it's difficult to overtake, but we're having normal qualifying format next week.
I think, again, it's going to be another very strategic race because of the coach. DRS trades, and I think you got to qualify well there because it's a fun track to qualify, but racing. The thing is, this track doesn't really punish mistakes. That track punishes mistakes. So you've got gravel, grass, and everything. It's a totally different track, this track, and I think it's going to be a great race. And obviously, I'll catch up on them when I'm back from my holiday. So have a Netherlands next week, and yeah,
I'm absolutely dreading it.
on the track in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm absolutely dreading Netherlands, to be honest. That's probably going to be the race I lose the championship lead. Yes, I am leading the championship in my tier. I think it's only going to last one race, and then someone else is going to take it from us. But anyway, Nick, is a race winner for the first time since season 9. I got it wrong. Yeah, I thought it was season 10, but season 9 was the last time he won around China. Can he have another great result next week? Can Craggy retain his championship lead going into the Netherlands? We'll have to wait and see. A massive shout out to all of our sponsors: Next Level Racing, Vespa Team, Pure Sim Gear, Mental Health Foundation, and SimGrid. We'll be back same time next week, 7 p.m. with myself and Jaco for the Dutch Grand Prix. And you can catch Colin and Mike Edwards at 5 p.m. for the P2 tier. I'm going to go and have some food and recover from this. I'm sure there'll be quite a few delighted faces in the chat. I'm going to go into a Discord call and scream my head out. But have a good evening, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Good night.
Bye.